What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another video for you guys today, and today I want to talk about when those tests and trials come, what's your reaction? What is your reaction? Because usually if God is telling you to work on something, to change your heart posture, or to be mindful of how you react to certain things, if he's placing this on your heart, then there's going to be tests that come afterwards to ensure that you don't fall into these same traps and these same deceptions, right? One of them could be frustration. If you're easily frustrated and God is trying to tell you you need to work on that and stop becoming so easily frustrated, there'll be tests and things that don't go your way. And in times like this, you usually would get frustrated. But you sit back and realize that all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So like I always say, guys, I make these videos for myself and for anybody who may be going through the same thing. So I'm a person who is coming from being easily frustrated as well. And it was a big issue it was a big issue at work, and not allowing that frustration to turn into a place of a negative mind state, to give the enemy way to get into your mind, to push negative thoughts, to ultimately take your joy away, right? So today is a mishap. Today, I ordered a bed, and it's this thing that has been happening to me lately. I don't understand why, but I know God has a purpose in it all. And instead of getting frustrated, I just look at it in a different light. Well, maybe this could be a test. Maybe God didn't have that in his plans for me. So instead of me being frustrated about it, just get joyful and thankful, because I know that's the way that the enemy is trying to attack me, right? We gotta understand the ways that the enemy tries to get into it, to attack us, right? Because the enemy, he's crafty, right? He knows things that get to us. But this is why we gotta feed the spirit and be in the spirit, because what Satan wanted to be bad, God used it for the good, right? Look at Joseph. Well, his brothers, God gave him a vision. I mean, he told his brothers, because even though they had a bit of friction along the way, Joseph thought, well, hey, I'm not sure what he thought. The Bible doesn't tell us that, but I'm assuming he probably thought well, at the end of the day, we still brothers, so if this is happening for me, then I'm sure they'll be happy for me. But no. Instead, they were jealous. They were even more jealous, to the point that they wanted to kill him. But one of his brothers, I'm not sure which brother this was, if it was Judah or Simeon. I'm not able to remember correctly, but one of the brothers, instead of killing him, he wanted to just put him in the pit so he can come back and fish him out. So he talked him out of killing him, and they put him in the pit, and instead they sold him for him to be a slave. But through that, him being a slave, he ended up going to jail because he stayed true to what God said, and he ran from lust and the temptation of his Pharaoh's wife, who was trying to she was trying to have an affair with Joseph. To keep it light, Joseph ran, and she tore some of his cloth and had it in the room. So when the other servants came in, who she called away, when they came in, she said that Joseph was trying to come on to her, which was a lie. But we know that we have faced persecutions following Christ anyway, so we stay true to what God is telling us, right? So after that, Joseph is in jail, and I know he's probably thinking like, God, you had this plan for me, and it seems the furthest away possible. Furthest away possible. But in that, God still showed Joseph favor. So the prison guard allowed Joseph to have authority over all the prisoners, and he wouldn't even go and check on what Joseph was saying, right? So, and this is how we get that that glimpse of hope and things like that God hasn't forgot about us, right? So the chief cupbearer and the chief baker get thrown into jail, right? And they both have dreams, and Joseph interprets the dream, one for the good, one for the bad. He didn't even want to interpret the dream because what he saw was going to happen to the chief baker. So he tells them, and the cupbearer, and the dreams come true. The cupbearer end up getting out, and Joseph tells the cupbearer not to forget about him. And that's that glimpse of hope, that confirmation that God is still with us, that God's plan is still going for us, right? So, and it still took some time because God's way is patient. So it took a little time. Then the Pharaoh had a dream of, and no one in there could interpret it. So he had to go find Joseph. And when he found Joseph, Joseph interpreted the dream, and he put Joseph in charge of everything to make the famine that was coming be sustainable, because God had given Joseph the vision to do it. The famine was so great that even his family had to come buy grain from Egypt. His brothers, not knowing that they had to buy it from Joseph, because Joseph was in charge of everything. And the point in that is, if Joseph would have stayed in his human nature and unforgave his brothers when they came to the famine, then while he did act harsh towards them at first, he revealed himself to them, forgave them, and God put Joseph through that thing in order for him to keep his family fed and to keep the family going, right? To keep the family fed and to save their lives. So you may be going through a time where you might be in a rough spot, and God is telling you to do these things. God is giving you a vision, but it looks nowhere in sight, right? But ultimately, God could be using you to save everyone. God could be using you to break those generational curses. God could be using you. You could be the one that God uses to bring the thing that family is missing. Whether it be love, whether it be wealth, whether it be purpose. It could be you. So if God is telling you to check your heart about something, if he's telling you or revealing to you ways that you're allowing the devil in through your discernment, sit back, ask God to help you in figuring these things out, and reveal these things to you so you can overcome them. And instead of falling into the same traps that the enemy is placed for you, you notice it and you overcome it. Give joy and thanks to the Lord, and he'll guide your path. So if there's something that that keeps bothering you, whether it's getting in arguments, frustration, being wrathful. All these things are ways for the enemy to pull you away from God by sneaking in and creeping in to place negative thoughts in your mind, to get you to go out and do something not of God. It's just a way for him to creep in. Give no way to the devil. Keep trusting in God. Keep your joy strong, because the enemy seeks to steal, kill, and destroy, and he wants to steal your joy. Don't let him. Don't let him. Because that moment you get frustrated, that's one time that he wins. In that moment, if you being frustrated, he can compile through moments of frustration, moments of anger, moments of dishonestness, moments of whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. But don't give the enemy that satisfaction. Give no way to the devil. If you know there's something or someone who always tries to do something to get under your skin, walk away from it. Walk away from it. When they try to do it, when they're leaning on and trying to do that thing that gets under your skin, walk away from it. Because the enemy could be using them to get to you. But we not letting people steal our joy no more. Not around here, not around these parts, guys. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you're having a blessed day. Hope your rest of your day is great. And like I always say, I love you guys, but God loves you more. That's all, guys.